Greetings, welcome to the Shocking Twists channel, a realm where we unveil true stories that take surprising turns. If you find joy in the video, consider subscribing and giving it a thumbs up. Your support truly aids in the growth of our channel. Now let us embark on a journey into the tale. Allow me to introduce myself. I go by the name Antoni. At the age of 23, a world of possibilities unfolds before me. In a quaint suburban neighborhood, just a short 20-minute journey from the vibrant city of Portland, I share my days with my mom. Just a simple scene unfolds. Rows of houses stand in neat alignment, lawns meticulously trimmed, and neighbors exchange friendly waves, yet their conversations remain unspoken. Last year, I embarked on a new chapter as I walked across the stage, diploma in hand, marking the end of my college journey. In a world filled with possibilities, I found myself wandering without a clear path. For the time being, I embraced the freelance life, diving into the digital realm, designing, offering tech support, and taking on whatever tasks come my way, all in the pursuit of that next paycheck. While it may lack luster, it sustains me and allows my mind to wander freely, perhaps in abundance of time. There was a girl named Rachel. She's in her 40th year, I believe. Perhaps she's around 41, but there's no chance she appears that age. She possesses an air of grace and sophistication, a woman who effortlessly embodies her essence. Her essence lingers in the air, a palpable warmth that envelops you, even in the simple act of checking the mail. From the earliest moments of my recollection, she has been bound in the sacred union of marriage. To this imposing figure, a man of few words and even fewer smiles, his name remains a mystery to me. Not a single word escaped his lips in my presence. Just a few days back, I witnessed him packing 2 large suitcases into the trunk of a sleek black SUV before he drove away. By oneself. It was in that moment I first became aware of the stillness that enveloped the street before me. One could sense it, as if a change had quietly taken place. As the week unfolded, I happened upon Greg, the fellow who brings packages to our little corner of the world. We exchanged a few words, and I inquired nonchalantly, "So, did Rachel's husband pack his bags and leave?" Greg shrugged. "Seems that way." For the past couple of weeks, she has been a solitary figure in my sight. That struck me with a force I hadn't anticipated. I suppose. It seems I've been more observant than I realized. I began to keep a watchful eye on her, just an observation, nothing unsettling about it. She would venture out to dispose of her trash a tad later than her usual routine. There she would be, perched on the front steps, cradling her coffee as the world unfolded around her. At times she found herself lingering in the garage, her gaze drifting as if she were searching for the next chapter to unfold. On a sunlit afternoon, I caught sight of her wrestling with an object tucked away on a shelf in the garage. A grand, oversized container. It appeared quite burdensome. For a fleeting moment, I paused, weighing my options before stepping onto the road. I attempted to maintain an air of nonchalance. "Would you like some assistance?" She turned and smiled, a flicker of surprise dancing in her eyes, as if the thought of anyone noticing her was a delightful surprise. Indeed, that would be wonderful. As I entered the room, I reached for the box and gently set it down on the floor. The space was adorned with vintage holiday decorations, likely remnants of his past celebrations. She gazed at it for a moment, then a gentle laugh escaped her lips. I had been contemplating parting with most of this regardless. For about 15 minutes, we found ourselves engaged in the task of shifting a few more boxes. There were those marked as garage treasures, camping gear, and a collection of books. There's nothing particularly dramatic here. Items that had lingered in silence for countless years. As I lifted the last one, she leaned against the doorframe and inquired, "Are you always this kind? Or perhaps it's just me?" That sentence lingered in the air, much like a captivating fragrance. In that moment, I found myself at a loss for words. I let out a half-hearted chuckle and shrugged, making an effort not to come off as foolish. It seems I have a fondness for lending a hand to those who embody goodness. She smiled once more, a warmth in her expression, neither flirtatious nor distant, simply cozy, perhaps weary, one might say, a touch reserved, yet genuine. "Ah, Antoni, you have a kind heart. My heartfelt gratitude to you." She recognized me by name. Ah, what a delightful sense of triumph that was. Our conversations dwindled into silence after that moment. After lending a hand with the sweeping, she mentioned it was time for her to return to the kitchen and prepare dinner. I urged her to reach out if she found herself in need of anything more. She promised she would. That night, I found myself perched by the window, my gaze fixed on her house, lost in the quiet unfolding of the evening. In the heart of the home, the kitchen glowed with warmth, its lights casting a welcoming embrace. And so we find ourselves in the living room, and then darkness enveloped everything. Though it seemed small, it was the most vibrant I had felt in months. A week had passed since I lent a hand to Rachel with those boxes in the garage. It had been quite some time since our paths last crossed. A handful of fleeting glimpses through the window. She would often greet the world with a familiar wave as she stepped outside to collect her mail, and so it ends with nothing more to say. Yet, a transformation had taken place within me. Before that fateful day, she was merely a quiet, enchanting figure residing across the street, a figure I glimpsed from afar. It was as if an ethereal thread connected our homes, delicate and unseen, yet palpable in its presence. Yet she lingered in my thoughts, an unshakable presence that captivated my mind. With each sound of her garage door lifting or the familiar creak of her screen door, my gaze would instinctively rise. In those fleeting moments when our eyes met, it was as if time rewound, transporting me back to my 14-year-old self, lost in the daydream of a high school crush on the girl who seemed just out of reach. On a warm afternoon, I found myself perched at my laptop, attempting to appear nonchalant while secretly wishing for her to step outside. As the clock struck 4 in the afternoon, she made her move. With determination in her stride, she made her way to the quaint flower bed by her porch, 2 bags of mulch in tow, ready to breathe new life into the blooms. Truly, they appeared quite burdensome. Though she never sought assistance, I rose to the occasion regardless. Would you like some assistance with those? With a gentle curve of her lips, she smiled. It seems you're weaving quite the tale for yourself in this place. A hearty laugh escaped me. Isn't it far more thrilling than being the one who merely observes from the sidelines? With a quirk of her brow, she expressed her intrigue. It all depends on what you inquire about. With a silent determination, I approached and relieved her of the bags, not uttering a single word. We toiled together for a while, diligently spreading mulch and pulling weeds side by side. It lacked the shine and sparkle, yet it held no weight in my heart. With each passing second, a sense of calmness enveloped me, as if it were the most natural thing in the world. In a moment of stillness, she settled back on her heels and exhaled deeply. Ah, I can sense your curiosity about the unfolding events. Her words caught me completely off guard. I remained silent. With a swift motion, she brushed her hands against her jeans, her gaze drifting out to the bustling street beyond. Do not direct your gaze towards me. For 13 years, our lives intertwined like the threads of a tapestry. I believed that held significance. I nodded with a measured deliberation. I chose not to urge her for an explanation. She had no obligations to me, yet she pressed on. He remained true to his word. He refrained from striking me. He simply vanished into thin air. With deep feeling, many years ago, I made my best effort to mend it, creating sounds in hopes that he would catch wind of my presence. Have you ever thought about it? Yet he only grew more silent. In time, I came to understand that my solitude with him was deeper than what I experience now. I gazed at her and uttered the sole thought that sprang to my mind. I apologize. She offered me a fleeting smile, just a hint of warmth in her expression. Refrained from doing so, I lingered longer than I should have. The responsibility lies with me. For a time, we lingered in quietude, the weight of the moment enveloping us. A silence so profound it stands on its own, requiring no words to bridge the space between us. At long last, she rose to her feet and brushed away the remnants of her fall. Step right in. Earlier, I crafted a refreshing batch of iced tea. Within the walls of her home, the air was infused with the bright scent of lemons, mingling with the comforting aroma of aged books. It was neat yet full of life. Images adorn the shelves, a candle flickers with the remnants of its flame on the counter, and a cozy sweater drapes casually over the back of a chair. It resonated with her essence. In the heart of the home, we gathered in the kitchen. She filled 2 glasses, and for a brief while, we engaged in conversation. Let me weave a tale about the everyday wonders of life, where melodies dance through the air, flavors tantalize our taste buds, and stories unfold on the silver screen. She had a fondness for vintage jazz records. I shared with her that I was still on a quest to uncover what I truly desired from life. At one moment, she remarked, "You know, conversing with you feels effortless." Words eluded me in that moment. I felt an overwhelming urge to share every detail with her. For years, she had captured my attention. There were moments when she lingered in my thoughts, even when the reasons eluded me. There was an undeniable allure about her that drew me in effortlessly. Yet those words never crossed my lips. I merely stated, "So are you." As the shadows lengthened and the evening deepened, I rose to take my leave. Just as I was about to cross the threshold, her voice echoed behind me, calling out with urgency, "Ah, Antoni, you say?" I pivoted. "Thank you for seeing me as whole, not as something in need of fixing." That lingered in my mind throughout the entire journey home. It lingered in my mind throughout the night. As I reclined in bed, my gaze drifted upward, fixated on the expanse of the ceiling above me. Her voice echoes endlessly in the corridors of my thoughts. "Thank you for seeing me as whole, not as something in need of fixing." She was not in my eyes. In the days that followed, Rachel seemed to vanish from my sight entirely. There is no garage door. There shall be no labor in the front yard. As the clock struck 9, the living room remained shrouded in darkness, not a single light flickering in the window. I reassured myself that it was merely a trivial matter. Perhaps she was simply taking a moment to herself, tending to some tasks, or seeking a little distance. Yet each time I strolled by my front window, my gaze drifted across the street. There was a moment of silence, a blank canvas waiting for a tale to unfold. By Friday, I finally let go of the charade that I wasn't consumed by thoughts of her. As I strolled around the block, the world around me began to unfold, each step a gentle whisper to clear the clutter in my mind. As the day began to wane, the air was filled with a gentle warmth, bathed in the soft, golden glow of the setting sun, the sort that casts a glow on all things, enhancing their allure beyond the truth. As I rounded the corner onto our street, my eyes caught sight of a car idling in front of her house. It did not belong to her. A gleaming silver Lexus, pristine, enormous. In that moment, I took a breath and let the world around me fade into silence. There she was, perched on the porch, her laughter dancing in the air. A man sat across from her, his presence filling the space between them. In the twilight of their 40s, perhaps, attired as if he belonged to the world of finance, a pristine white shirt, a luxurious timepiece, impeccable stance. As he spoke, his fingers gently brushed against her hand, weaving a connection between their words. She remained right there, steadfast and unyielding. That stirred something within me that I couldn't quite embrace. With hurried steps, I found myself moving quicker than intended, gliding right past their driveway, my gaze averted. Yet there it was, a palpable sensation deep within my chest. The pressure builds, a warmth radiating from deep within my gaze. Foolish. Our acquaintance was fleeting, like a whisper in the wind. She had the liberty to choose whomever her heart desired. It was not my place to feel upset, yet I truly was. That night, sleep eluded me. My thoughts danced in circles. What was it that I anticipated? Did I believe she was holding on for my arrival? Could it be that I truly hold significance in her life? As dawn broke, I found myself embracing the idea of release. To embark on a new journey. Perhaps it held a special significance for me, as I had been wandering aimlessly of late. Perhaps I had woven a tale in my mind that existed only in the shadows of my imagination. On that fateful afternoon, as I toiled away in the backyard alongside my mom, clearing out the cluttered shed, a voice pierced the air, calling my name. There was a character named Antoni. I spun on my heel, and there she stood, Rachel, poised by the side gate. She appeared transformed. With no makeup adorning her face, her hair casually swept up into a bun, She donned a simple white t-shirt paired with jeans speckled with paint, telling a story of creativity and authenticity. She appeared to be truly alive. Forgive me for stepping in. Do you remember how to configure those universal remotes? I gave a knowing nod. Indeed, absolutely. With a gentle curve of her lips, she smiled. It seems like mine is gearing up for a showdown. I trailed her as she made her way back across the street. Within those walls, a sense of normalcy enveloped the atmosphere once more. In the gentle embrace of soft music, a citrusy candle flickers, casting a serene glow, enveloping the space in a tranquil peace. In just a brief span of 10 minutes, I guided her through the process of reprogramming the remote. Her laughter rang out as I made the repair. Honestly, you're like the go-to person in the neighborhood for all things tech and repairs. I simply shrugged my shoulders. It's a journey of exploration and discovery. In that moment, time seemed to stand still. Her expression hinted at unspoken words, yet silence lingered in the air. I settled onto the edge of the couch, my fingers dancing over the settings once more. Then, without meeting her gaze, I asked, "Was that your boyfriend the other night?" She blinked, caught by surprise. "No, merely an acquaintance from my past employment. We gathered around the table for dinner, and there you have it." I inclined my head with a measured pace. "Very well." With a gentle tilt of her head, she captured the moment. "What prompts your inquiry?" In that moment, I paused, uncertainty weaving through my thoughts. This was the moment that would be etched in memory. The moment arrived when I had to choose between maintaining the facade or revealing the truth of my emotions. It seems I had this notion, perhaps a flicker of hope, that there was something between us. I had no intention of stepping over any boundaries. There's something about your presence that draws me in, and not merely as a neighbor. Silence enveloped the room, wrapping it in a stillness that felt almost tangible. Rachel settled into her seat, inhaling deeply as she prepared to share her thoughts. Anthony, the pleasure of your company is truly delightful to me as well. Your kindness shines through. Your words flow effortlessly, inviting conversation. In these past few weeks, your kindness has truly shone through. Yet I spoke softly, expressing that I am still on a journey to discover my true self without another by my side, and I fear causing pain to others in my uncertainty. I gave another nod. It was sincere and just. Yet the sting lingered on. "I understand," I spoke. "No need for explanations." "I do," she replied, her voice steady and warm, "because you matter to me, though the path remains a mystery to me for now." Once more, we found ourselves enveloped in silence. At last, I rose to my feet and passed her the remote control. It ought to function properly now. With a gentle smile, she accepted it. Gratitude fills the air. As I approached the door, her voice lingered gently in the air. "You're not just a kid to me. I trust that you are aware of that." I pivoted and cast my gaze upon her. Her lips were drawn tight, devoid of a smile. Her words were sincere. "I understand," I replied. As I strolled home, my hands tucked away in my pockets, a curious feeling washed over me. Was it a loss I felt, or perhaps the dawning of something new and unexpected? On that fateful night, slumber eluded me as well. Yet on this occasion, it was not frustration that stirred within. It was truly remarkable. A glimmer of hope, perhaps. 7 days unfolded. No texts to share. Silence reigns, no calls to break the stillness. There were no soft greetings drifting across the lawn. I chose not to cross that threshold. She chose to remain silent, and despite my constant reminders to be patient and allow her the space she needed, a change began to stir within me. The glimmer of hope I once held began to fade away. With great care, as if a vessel of water were abandoned under the blazing sun, each morning I rose with a promise to myself, to resist the temptation of glancing across the street, yet I always did. Each morning the curtain remained tightly closed, shrouding the room in a veil of mystery. The porch lights no longer flickered to life at night as they once did. The house stood unchanged, yet it carried an air of desolation, resembling a hollow shell, lost and uncertain of its purpose to guard what once thrived within. I made a promise to myself that I wouldn't reach out to her. Yet, on a particular night, as the clock struck 11, I found myself in a moment of revelation. Greetings. I hope this message finds you well. I trust all is well with you. Silence lingered in the air, a pause that spoke volumes. The following morning, there she was, standing in the driveway. She was retrieving an item from her trunk. I observed from the window, feeling the weight of my hesitation. Her eyes carried the weight of weariness. Still radiant, yet weary in a manner that was evident in her shoulders. With a swift motion, I snatched my keys and stepped out into the world, crossing the street as if guided by instinct alone. "Greetings," I proclaimed. She glanced upward, momentarily taken aback, then summoned a courteous smile. "Greetings. Are you all right?" With a gentle nod, she acknowledged. "Indeed, simply the essence of existence. Ah, you see." I found myself standing there, a sense of uncertainty washing over me, wondering if my presence was truly welcome. I sent a message, I spoke. With a gentle thud, she shut the trunk and leaned back against it, her arms crossing in a thoughtful embrace. "I understand." In that moment, I beheld it. Ah, that moment of stillness between the words. It conveyed the entirety of the message. She paused for a moment before adding. I didn't respond because I didn't know what to say. I gave a knowing nod. In a land where justice reigned, there existed a concept known as fairness. Antony, I've been pondering quite a bit lately. Let me share with you the tale of my desires, what awaits me. Yet uncertainty lingers in the air. I'm not requesting you to have certainty. I spoke, striving to maintain a calm tone. I'm merely inquiring if you experience any emotions, or perhaps this was merely one of those pivotal moments in time. In the midst of one endeavor, there lay an essential element waiting to be discovered. She cast her gaze downward, her eyes resting upon her feet. It was not anything of significance. It's important to me that you understand my intentions were genuine, not merely a quest for attention or solace. It was a thought that had never crossed my mind. Yet perhaps I truly was, she remarked. It wasn't done on purpose, yet here we are. A sensation of something crumbling within me washed over me, softly, as if a chair were to gently topple in a vacant space. She inhaled deeply. Since the age of 22, I have shared my journey with someone special. I've never truly experienced the sensation of solitude. It seems I have a journey ahead of me to uncover that mystery, with no one poised in the shadows. I allowed those words to linger in the space between us for a moment. I understand, I replied. That is truly what you deserve, to unravel the mystery. As she drew nearer, her hand brushed softly against my arm, a tender gesture that spoke volumes. In the depths of your character, Antony, there lies a goodness that shines brightly. Indeed, you truly are. My heart yearned for the moment our lips would meet. My heart yearned to embrace her. I wished to offer my hand, allowing me to be the one who guides you through this journey. Yet, I chose not to. For within the depths of my heart, I sensed it clearly. This tale was not destined to be one of romance, not the sort that concludes with two souls strolling into the twilight. With a gentle smile, I nodded in understanding. Should you ever find yourself in need of assistance, just let me know. A box shifted ever so slightly, a distant resolution. Ah, you know just where to seek me out. Her laughter danced softly in the air, tinged with a hint of melancholy. Indeed, I do. With a deliberate turn, I made my way back across the street. That brief stroll seemed to stretch on, far beyond what one might expect. On that tranquil night, I found myself on the porch, drink in hand, allowing the stillness to envelop me. The street lay in a hush, a quiet pause in the unfolding tale of the day. In the stillness of the evening, a few porch lights began to flicker to life. In the distance, a dog let out a bark, echoing through the quiet surroundings. The shadows enveloped her house, casting an air of mystery within its walls. In that moment, a significant truth dawned upon me, a sensation that caught me by surprise. Anger didn't stir within me. I was not shattered. It was as if I had reached the brink of a great adventure, peered into the unknown, and then decided to retreat into the familiar. It wasn't fear that held me back. It was the understanding that the soul on the other side wasn't prepared to reveal itself just yet. not even in solitude, and that was perfectly fine. I had truly existed, I had arrived. A deep sense of authenticity washed over me, and that held significance. Though the conclusion wasn't quite what I had envisioned. As the days turned into weeks, a little over a month slipped by, and in that moment, I fulfilled every promise I made to myself. I chose to walk away, leaving her in solitude. No texts, no interruptions. There are no reasons to hesitate when it comes to crossing the street. It wasn't driven by pride. It wasn't a grand display of emotion. A revelation has dawned upon me. She found herself unprepared. And I found myself unable to continue revolving around someone who was still in the midst of deciding if she even desired a son. I immersed myself in various pursuits, gathered a handful of new clients, embarked on a journey of morning runs. I lent a hand to my mom as we transformed the kitchen with a fresh coat of paint. There I was, stepping into the realm of first dates, each one a blend of excitement and a touch of awkwardness. Just a little something. A gentle nudge to remind me that I was still a part of the world beyond that house across the street. There was a silence between Rachel and me, an unspoken bond that lingered in the air. Silence reigns. Yet from time to time, she would appear before my eyes, removing the refuse. As she tended to her blossoms, each drop of water seemed to whisper secrets of growth and beauty. At times, our gazes would meet from afar. Silence prevails. A gentle acknowledgement, unspoken yet profound. The air held a gentle warmth. It was not a tale of sorrow, it simply existed. One fateful afternoon, I returned home and noticed an intriguing sight in our mailbox. This isn't your typical tale. No stamps available. There are no markings to be found. Merely a simple white envelope. It bears my name, etched upon its surface. Ah, the familiar strokes of a pen that I knew all too well. As I stepped onto the porch, I gently opened it, revealing what lay beyond. Within the confines lay a note. Thank you, Antoni, for recognizing my presence when I was lost in the shadows, for being there when I couldn't find the words to ask, for bringing back the spark of emotion within me, even if I wasn't quite prepared to take that step. I'm embarking on a new journey, just a short distance away, to a place yet to be discovered, in a tranquil place, far removed from the noise of the world. Time is what I seek, and the vast expanse of space. But understand that your significance in my life was far from trivial. You truly existed, and you showed kindness, and that held a significance beyond your understanding. There was a girl named Rachel. A mysterious envelope arrived, but alas, it bore no return address. There is no number, no postscript, just that. I delved into it twice. With a gentle motion, it was folded and returned to its resting place within the envelope. That weekend, she vanished into thin air. From my vantage point behind the blinds, I observed as a modest moving van came to a stop in front of her house. She possessed very little, just a handful of boxes, a selection of furniture pieces, 2 pots of plants. It seemed as though no one came to her aid. Alone in the world, without kin, only the movers and her, a scene set for a tale yet to unfold. She approached my door without a knock. She simply turned away, leaving no farewell in her wake. To be truthful, I never thought she would. She was embarking on the path she felt compelled to take. And this time, I found myself as an observer, not a participant. As the sun dipped below the horizon, an eerie stillness enveloped her home, plunging it into an inky blackness that whispered secrets of the night. The curtains had vanished into thin air. The porch lights remained unlit. The driveway lay still and vacant, and for the first time in ages, I found my gaze wandering elsewhere. I found myself perched on the edge of my bed, allowing the moment to wash over me. And thus the tale came to its conclusion. In hushed tones, softly, as a gentle gust softly shuts a door behind it. She was not the one meant for me. She was not the continuation of my tale. But she was truly something remarkable. She was a fleeting glimpse in time, a genuine one, that transformed me in ways I never anticipated. Before her, I floated aimlessly. Anticipation hung in the air as I lingered, eager for the unfolding of events. In her wake, I came to realize that being present, even if just for a fleeting moment, carries its own significance. It remains significant. My heart didn't find its way to Rachel because I believed she was within my reach. My heart was captured by her strength, her humanity, her imperfections, and the beauty she possessed in the subtle, significant ways that truly counted. And I find peace in that. Indeed, I truly am. Not long after, a fresh face arrived to take up residence in her home. A young couple had just tied the knot. With a fresh coat of vibrant yellow, they transformed the door into a cheerful welcome, inviting all who passed by to pause and admire its sunny hue. Hang up those enchanting string lights. On the weekends, the air was filled with the vibrant sounds of loud music. It was as if the world had begun anew. The letter slipped through my fingers, never to be held again. With a final glance, I carefully folded the paper and cast it into the flames of the fireplace. Not out of a desire to erase the past, but rather because the memories didn't require a physical reminder. Its purpose had been fulfilled, leaving behind a whisper of its journey. And I had already bid farewell.